Welcome back, students. In the last class we have discussed keywords, identifiers and data types and the different types of data types that are available in VB.NET. So today we'll look at user defined data types. So what are built-in data types and user defined data types? So built-in data types are all the data types that we have discussed before in the previous lecture. That is all the data types listed here: boolean, byte, char, date, decimal, and so on. These are all built-in data types. So in today's lecture we will discuss user defined data types. So a user defined data type refers to a data type created using the structure statement. So structure, you can say either a structure statement or a structure keyword. So you use this keyword to create your own data type. Structures provide us with a way of packaging data of different types together. So you can combine different types of data together to form a single structure. A structure is declared using the structure keyword. So to use a structure, you use the structure keyword. The structure statement declares the name of a structure and introduces the definition of the variables, properties, events, and procedures that the structure comprises. So a structure can have variables, properties, events, and procedures. So now let us look at the syntax of a structure. The syntax looks like this: structure, name, data member declarations inside, these are optional, and these are method member declarations. And then to close the structure, you close it with this statement and structure. So you start with the structure keyword and the name of the structure, okay, where name is the name of the structure. Then data member declarations, they are const, dim, enum or event statements declaring the data members of the structure. So we will see the const and other keywords here. We have seen the use of dim in the previous lecture also. So these are all you can declare all the data members inside the structure, and then you can also declare the methods that you can use inside the structure. So methods are the declarations of function, operator, property or sub procedures which serve as method members of the structure. So let us look at two example programs. On the left side we have the first program, and on the right side we have the second program. On the left side, let's have a look. If you remember complex numbers, you studied in your earlier maths classes. So complex numbers consist of two parts, right? A real part and an imaginary part. So both are integers. So what you are going to do is, so first of all, inside the module you start the structure. Okay, so you create the structure. The name of the structure is complex, and then inside the structure you are going to declare the data members here. So the data members are real and imaginary. Okay, so you are dim real as integer, you are declaring the real part as integer, and declaring the second data member imaginary also as integer. And then you close the structure. For this structure there is no method. There is no method, only the data members. So now after that you start the main function, and then inside the main function now you are going to you declare three variables, C1, C2 and C3 as three different complex structures. Okay, so C1, C2 and C3 are three variables, structure variables. So now in this part you are going to initialize the structure members here. So C1.real equal to 10. So you are storing the value of 10 into the real part of C1. So what about the imaginary part? The imaginary part, for that you are storing it by initializing it as 20. C1 dot imaginary equal to 20. Same way you store the values for the real and imaginary part of the number C2. So C2 dot real equal to 30, C2 dot imaginary equal to 40. So to access, so C1, C2, C3 are the structure variables. To access the data members, that is the real, imaginary, you use the dot operator. So you use C1 dot real and C1 dot imaginary, C2 dot real and C2 dot imaginary. So like this you access the data members, and then you initialize the values here. Now in this simple example, we are going to add the real parts of C1 and C2 and then store them into the real parts of C3, and then do the same thing for the imaginary parts of C1 and C2, and then store the result of the addition into C3. So C3 dot real equal to C1 dot real plus C2 dot real, and then C3 dot imaginary equal to C1 dot imaginary plus C2 dot imaginary. So what will happen is you will add the real parts of the two variables C1 and C2 and then store it into C3, and here you are adding the imaginary parts of C1 and C2 and then store the result in the imaginary part of C3. So after that, after doing the addition, you just give the output. So after addition, the real part is 0, that is the first argument, and imaginary part is the second argument. The first argument, this is the first argument after the end of the code, and this will be the second argument after end of the code. So the first argument after end of the code is the real part. So real part is this will be substituted by this 0 will be substituted by the C3 dot real, and imaginary part will be substituted, this one will be substituted by the second argument here. So the output will be, after addition, the real part is, so what will be the addition, what will be the output, or what will be the value here? So real part of your C3 dot real, right? So what is the value of C3 dot real? This is C1 dot real plus C2 dot real, that is 10 plus 30, so this should be 40. Similarly, C3 dot imaginary is C1 dot imaginary plus C2 dot imaginary, that is 20 plus 40, that is 60. So this part should be 60. So in the program output you will see that after addition the real part is 40 and imaginary part is 60. So let us try out this program. First let us copy this. Let's open a new project. Let's again choose the console app.NET framework. You just double click here and give a name for the project. Just say complex number, then just create it. Okay, so here what you do is just replace this code. Okay, save it, build the solution. Okay, so build has succeeded. Now you will run the program. So you can see that after the output is, after addition the real part is 40 and imaginary part is 60. So this is how you are going to work with structures. Now let's look at the second program. In the second program we have a structure named circle, structure circle. So for circle, you know that a circle has a radius, so its data member is a radius and another data member is its area. So here in this case we have a sub procedure. Okay, so the name of this subroutine is called sub calculate area. Okay, so the name of this procedure is calculate area. Here what you are doing is you are what is the area is, actually it should be pi r square, right? Yeah, it should be pi r square. So okay, we'll modify it in the code. Area equal to pi r square. Pi, the value of pi we have substituted with the values 3.14. okay, so we have two things inside this structure. We have data members and also we have method members. Okay, the data members are radius and area. Method member is calculate area. Okay, so because we are doing some calculation here, so any calculation that you want to set for this structure, you can also provide it in the structure here itself. So after this, you close the structure by using the end structure statement, and then you start the main program. Inside the main program, you create an object for the structure, dim c as new circle, and then ask the user to enter the radius of the circle. So in this case, so this is also another part. This is the part where you are also going to take input from the user. So to take input from the user, you use console.readline. Okay, so console.readline, this will take input from the user. Okay, so this, and then after taking the input from the user, it will get stored to c.radius. Okay, so you store the value here in c.radius. After that, you call calculate area of the structure members c, of the structure variable c. So when you call this will get executed. Okay, this will get executed and then get stored in c.area, and then so after that you print the results. So area of the circle with radius this is this, so it will print like this. Area of the circle with radius, so first of all it will ask the user to enter the radius of the circle. Suppose the user enters 10, then area of the circle with the radius this is this. Okay, so this won't be the same because we have to change the formula there. So let us also try out this program. First of all, we copy this. Now let us create another new project. .NET framework, yes, circle, create, just have to change the formula here, pi r square, right? Radius into 3.14. okay, so pi r square. So after that, this will calculate the area correctly and then store here. So you just save it, build the project, build succeeded. So let's start. Enter the radius of the circle. So let's say 10. So area of the circle is 314. All right. So this is how you use structures with data members and the method members. So that's all for the user defined data type. In the next lecture, we will go ahead with variables and constants. Thank you.